And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Here we go. Set. 10 Tucson.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
My 7. Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. You ain't got nothing.
2nd and 1. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
58's the money. 58's the money.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this, it's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field and unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
What are you doing? You can't get past me.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
52's the mark.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 70 in.
I'm scared.
Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Here we go.
Protein spill.
Check 13.
Smith. Snap.
Back to throw here. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off around the 27, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Delta.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
He'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Ready, break. Watch Mike, watch Mike. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to trail you. Go.
He'll set up a throw. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Here we go, here we go. 60 orange. Stay with your man. No, check it.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From a yard out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
1st and goal. Forget running the football. Forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think 1st and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
58 to Mike, 58.
2nd and 5. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off near his own 48. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables. Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Check 59, Mike. 59.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, let go. You got nothing. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58. Right. Get it.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll drop the throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a A field goal or an extra point, take the field goal right here.
They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ready.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Ready, go.
On second down, Swift. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on third down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. And this is caught. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Looking to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This will be taken short. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught at the 25. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Ready. 164, weak, and alpha. Look at me. Go.
Back to you.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. A 84 yards as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in this. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. Then the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Gross.
That's correct. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 26. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be fourth down. The kick by Lutz is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this third quarter. So it's his third field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
58.
Now back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
First down.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10.
Hey, watch this.
And taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic.
6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
Going up top. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints have retaken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Here we go. Here we go. Deuce. Wild, 64, weak. Check that. We'll Mike 50. Ready.
They're going to try and run. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Give them 32 on the play.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's Gary's man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Check. Press down. Recon, 132 fight.
Back to throw here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They come out here in the eye. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
They'll try and sneak it here. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only second down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up third down.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Check, 59, 59. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
58, come on. Keep it up.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Hey, 58's the money. Go 58's the money.
Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time. The offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Look at me, Zipper. Hey, Orbit. My 52. Go.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Well, this is caught by Williams. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it.
Okay, ready?
Check, check. Watch me before. Watch me before.
Ain't no delta. We taking wins, huh?
Mike spot 4. Mike spot. Yep. Mike spot 4. Let's go, heavy. Let's go, heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got?
Back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Let's go now, let's go now. 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Smoke. 54, let's go.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Here we go.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Panthers, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.